we live? Oh, we are live. Okay. So, good evening, guys. At this hour, this is something because I found it interesting. I thought I'll do a quick live. This one is to explain what's Nifty at currently, and what to expect for trading sessions tomorrow. Nifty has come to a very interesting note right now, and that's the reason I thought we'll discuss two or three possibilities, and let's understand. Let's figure out what all can happen, where what are the important levels, and what can we use for you. What price levels can we use for the basis of trades tomorrow? Okay, so without wasting much time, let me quickly show my screen. Entire screen. Yeah. Okay, so we are at Nifty. Okay, forget all what is marked here. We'll start fresh and we'll look at all the possibilities from today. And because of whatever is happening, actually Nifty is making a piano here. So these are white and black keys, but whatever that means, whatever that has made, it's made it very interesting to count. Now, when we look at this fall, uh, keep it at this or this. So this is how I would read it earlier. Okay, this was a very extended Y that we saw, and then again there was ABC, all those things we had seen already. Whatever this is, whichever way you count it, let's understand and let's establish that this was our base. From here, let it be A or whichever degree. Let's say a degree has been over here, it's complete here. Now, if you have been following our channel and if you have anyone of you have taken the course, you will know whatever is going up is not necessarily an impulse. So, whatever this is, again, I'll break it into two parts. This is the high. We have taken 11 bars to it. We are in the daily time frame right now. And till today, after the high, it's been 20 bars. So one thing is very sure, whatever this is, I could debate whether it's an impulse or a corrective or whatever. We'll see what those possibilities are. But this 20 bars that we have taken here, it's definitely a corrective. Okay. So I'll just put a retracement from this low to a local high here. Now price is at 50%. It's been at 50% for one, two, three, four, five. Five times it has touched but not crossed. So this has been a very big support. Also, understand this or know this that this is a gap, and this gap itself. I'll just quickly add a gap indicator. Again, it's visible, but just to make it visually more obvious, there. This is a gap, and this gap is acting as a support at the moment, right? So this till this point in time, till this price point, 21 1 23 150 or whatever, uh, it is more likely to act like a support that it has been. Also, if you see, there's a small gap here, but more on that will come to it in just a while. So this gap thing is done, so we don't need it anymore. We are at 50% established. Now, whatever this is, I can call it a degree. Now, this could be an impulse ka degree or this could be a corrective. Let me change the size of the font here and the color as well. And let's call it 1 or A. I'll come to that. Why I'm calling it as 1 or A. And whatever this is maybe 2 or B, right? A is up, B is down, then C will be up. Okay, now here, if I look at the moves here from this low to this A, I'll move to one level down, 75 minutes. Whatever this is, I can see this is one big fall and then a rise. So I can see three moves here very clearly, but I can still, for an argument's sake, mark it into 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. whichever way, whether this is 1 2 3 4 5 or whether this is, I can also mark this as ABC. Okay, let's first measure whether that completes the or fulfills the criteria of A, B, and C. I call this is taking 15 bars. This has taken 14 bars, equal time, and this has taken 29 bars. A plus B equal to C, something like that. So I can also mark this as, again, I'm doing it as per the rules. The time to A and time to B are roughly equal. And let me also change this to micro. Let's make it black. So A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whichever we find convenient, we can mark it. Now, if I call it an impulse, it can complete 1. If I call it an impulse, it can also mean that this is A. A can be an impulse as well. If I call it a corrective, this is an A, right? So let's establish, let's put it here at this point in time. Now, this is also an interesting part that has happened after this. So I'll just remove the time periods for now. Okay. Now from here to here, from this point to this point, it is 14 bars. From this point to this point, it is 39 bars. Let's say for an argument's sake, 31 bars, that won't be the case. Okay, so what did I do here? Okay. And then from here, so if I call it, this is this also, if I can see, this is very clear, an impulse, clearly an impulse. This is 1, this is 2, this I can call it 3, this I can call it 4, and this I can call it 5. So this is a clear impulse, and from this impulse there is another degree that's complete. Now because it's a corrective, I'll call it A. Again, it's not the rule. Again, it could be, even if it is moving in the downward direction, it could be very well an impulse, but for the conventional count, let's call it A, and then this could be B, right? So we call it whatever. I can call it, actually this is the count that I can fit it in here. Okay, so this is a double correction, and that double correction has completed a B, right? So 14 bars and 39 bars, we could have the C or the next destination in either half or the double time. Now this is where the catch is. If I do the average of the two, it's 18, it's very less than the average. If I do something else, maybe let's do a sum of it, 53. 53 bars is still, we are yet to reach there. 53 bars will be somewhere here. So if I mark it from the time per se, the C of this corrective probably is not yet over. So how do I mark it? Now let's see what the possibilities are. One thing says, or one count says, that this is ABC, that's complete. Then again from here to here, if I see 0 to W, this will become, this C could become W. From here again there's a sharp rise and then there's a sideways movement. So I can call it as W, X, and Y could be pending. This is, let's say, view 1. The second view is what I'm actually currently, or maybe the second view, let's color code it. Let's make it orange. So this is view 1, which is orange. The second view is this. This is A, this is B, and then there'll be C. And this C that we marked here could actually be here, right? So this is A, then B, and then a corrective till here, which will be C. So if that's the case, what will be my target? My target will be, I'll put an extension. So my target will be somewhere here, 2300. Okay. If it is a WXY, then also the target will be somewhere around 2300. Now, why I'm calling this as B? If I need to do an internal count here, I will call it as A, B, C, D, and E. So this way it is also possible that this is a contracting triangle, though I cannot tell you for sure, or it's not yet confirmed that this is actually a triangle or not. The important test for triangle is that this price move should not touch this AC trend line. So it's very close to that point. So if it goes beyond that, then this triangle view gets invalidated. We'll have to recount whatever is happening here. But till this point from here, whether it is 1 or A or whatever we call it, or from here when the corrective has started, this is A, B, and C, or this is A, B, and C is getting formed yet. Whether I call it A, B, C, and then W, X, Y, the first probability tells me that it could go down. The second probability tells me that this is A, B, and then from here A, B, and C is getting formed. So the second possibility also weighs this thing down to continue a down move. Now these are two views so far that we have identified. Now, if I call this as let's say this is an A, this is a B here. Okay, how do I differentiate further? Or maybe I'll remove one of the views from here. But let's call it A. This wasn't A. Let's call this A. Somewhere B is getting formed. B could be formed here. A, B, and C. This could be B. Let's, for the argument's sake, let's call it B. Otherwise, we were hoping that okay, this we had already marked it here. This could be 2 or B, as per our earlier counts. Here, it is either a 2 or a B, right? So if B is complete here, then it will probably move back for a C. Now, uh, contrary to the popular move, like if this is an impulse, as in if this is one and then this is getting this and then if two is getting formed, my view is that it could be moving down for tomorrow. If it's a 1 or A and then it is forming B, my notional view is also that it is going to get a move down. If I call it a corrective, that this is A, B, C, and this is actually A, and this is where B is complete, this is the only view where probably I'll see that it is going to move up and it is going to form a C up. So 2 out of 3 possibilities are hinting towards that the count is such that that price is expected to move down. Now let's understand what is happening in the markets right now as we record this. Let's look at Brent, which is what the uh, hot property right now, something that's crazily impacting every markets. As we speak here, Brent is down by 6%. So it could mean that there will be a good positive sentiment in the markets if that continues. We look at, let's say, S&P. This also has gone like what percentage up? It's not much, it's roughly 0.85%. But that also it looks a little saturated, so we'll not consider this. But the primary mover of the markets currently after the West Asia conflict has been crude oil, which is down by 5% as we record this from the trading sessions. And on the contrary, 2 out of 3 possibilities suggest that it will continue to move down, and that's where it makes it interesting. Again, there are bases, again 2 out of 3 probability. There are certain trades I have taken already in the particular direction. So I'm not trying to hint that that is something that motion is what it will continue, but this is where it actually is complicated at the moment. And if we are truly looking into the details of it, How do we trade in a case situation like this? So let's understand that as well. For the time being, I'm removing everything. Uh, let me check my mouse once again. Okay, yeah, back. So whether this is A, B, or whether this is W, X, Y, whichever way, two possibilities are bringing it down. Let me clear it once again. I'll only keep two possibilities. Let's call it A, B, and C, which is what it will take it up. And the second possibility is A, and B is yet to be formed, and C is not in the picture at the moment. So let's call it black and blue. Blue is something that will take it down, and the black one is what it will take it up if the B is complete here. But for that B to be complete, this should be a corrective. This can't be an impulse. If it's an impulse, then the price is expected to move down. So fun part. Now, when I look at this particular, I'll put an extension here, right? Now to get out of this, I'll also count something in between here. Let's call it ABC again. Change colors to maybe red, sub, minuscule, micro, whatever that is. Okay. So we know for price to get out of corrective, price needs to break this barrier, which is this trend line. Now if I clone this and if I put it on A again, price is exactly at this. Price has come back into the channel again. There was a struggle for 2 days. It's just gotten insight. So for it to continue the momentum, let me then call it, or because this is complete from here, if I measure this, or if I count this small portion again from this low, I'll put a retracement. Okay, this is exactly at 81%. So let me, for an argument's sake, call it an impulse. It will move in a particular way like this. Now for it to get into a very strong impulse, again if I look at the price movement from here to here, this has again come to 81.2%. Both let's say wave 2 or smaller wave 2 making or reaching up to 81.2% generally means that it's a weaker impulse. So probably it will continue, and it will, I mean, if even if it continues, it should only be probably, or let's say it crosses the bare minimum criteria, which it has reached. 61.3% is 61.8% is what the first target could be, and that target has been reached, but it hasn't crossed the high. So for the price to get into the impulse mode to correct it, the important price level that we have here is this, which is the top of this candle, which is what, 20 uh, 23,839. That's the top here. So let's call it, let's round it up, 23,840. So for price to continue in an upswing, or it needs to cross this barrier, needs to make a high, or needs to break the previous high, which is 23,840. This is condition one. Now let's look at the other way. If the corrective is what is continuing, if I put a retracement, if I put an extension like this, okay, we have reached how much? We have reached, let me change the color once again. We have reached how much? We have reached 100 and close to 161% already. But again, the uh, condition remains the same. No, here the C is not being formed, is what the uh, second possibility is. So in that case, this will be A, and then this will be B. So what I'll do is I'll put a retracement put an extension once again here, this and this. So my minimum target would be here. I'll call it, let's say, at 61%. which is somewhere around 23,088. So let's round it up to 23,100 somewhere here. This will be the same case if I am calling it at as WXY. So the price needs to, as in it's actually there oscillating between 23,100 and 23,840. So 23,840 is where the bullish side or bullish side opens up. If it continues from here, it's where we'll see this as I mean, the minimum target it could reach is 23,100. Now uh, we are on Wednesday, at the end of Wednesday. So we'll be starting Thursday tomorrow. Just one day left for the weekly closing. Now here it gets a little interesting. For price is currently at 23,660. So it has how much? Roughly 200 points to break this and get into the higher kind of moves, or the impulse kind of mode. Price still has, if it reverses from here, now let me see that part also. If it is forming a triangle, which one to delete? I'll delete this one. Okay, if it is forming a triangle, now let me change the color again to, let's say, green. If it is forming a triangle, the target will be somewhere close to this 23,950. Okay, so two possibilities tell me that it is going to be at 2300 or 23,950. No, my bad. It's 22,950. Two of the three possibilities suggest that price could move 23,000 or 22,950, and the third possibility suggests that it could break to 23,840 and move further. This is where we are at, and there is no particular way to actually know what's happening unless we see the opening tomorrow. Maybe the pre-market session or something. That's the earliest we'll get to know which one of the two is going to hold up. But I thought this is something very interesting at the moment, and it is one of the most complicated scenarios I've seen in Elliott Wave so far in this year. So it's fun also to try and decode this. Uh, this is where we are at. While the global side suggests that there could be a rally possible because the oil prices have crashed a little, uh, two out of three possibilities also suggest that it could be a down move continuing. So, what's something that you think about, or what's your opinion? Do let us know in the comments, or we'll anyway by the time we see all these commentary, or we see the market, will be having a markets opening tomorrow for trading as well. So just let's see what happens tomorrow. And exciting part, however, it's little, I mean, there is some kind of anxiety because there is one direction that I've already taken a trade into, and I don't know if that's holding up. I mean, this is the logical side of it, but when you come to actually trading, there are certain humane factors also get into play. But that's the fun of trading in this markets right now. So that's it for now. If you find this thing interesting,